What's going on, guys? Reisshub back with another video, and in today's video I want to cover Hen and Chapix, who placed first on NA East Dreamhack Duos Opens. The interesting thing about this is that they're playing from EU. Hen is on 80 to 100 ping and Chapix is on 110 to 130 ping, and they still managed to beat all of the other players on NA East and all of the EU players also playing, so really good performance by them. I streamed this VOD review live on my Twitch at twitch.tv/Reisshub, so if you want to go watch the entire VOD, you can go and do that. It's still live. It'll be live for, I think, 30 days. I can't remember how long they last on Twitch, but something like that. So if you want to see the not broken down version, you can go see it there. If not, here's some of the highlights. Enjoy. So what I'm interested in is so this is a W key game where they're going, right, we need to get as many elims as possible here, which most teams is. I think they got, was it 22 elims they got? So what I'm interested in for this is actually the routes that people take to find players, because a lot of times you'll struggle with is you just simply can't find that many people if you're on a big W key streak. So if you're trying to W key this many people, how do you actually find that many? Because interesting, they have a first zone that pulls down here, so there'll be a ton of these kind of players. Why is this top right corner so congested? I know it's an opens game, but why is everyone up here? So all these players will be rotating through this sand area, and I want to see if they do a path, because a lot of times with a central zone, we'll see teams rotate up to Pleasant and then round through Coliseum and basically just circle the sand area, because this is where they're gonna find the most amount of teams. But obviously this is still opens W key game, but I want to see how they do it. Okay, so I want to see this is a defensive play. They're on high ping. How do you actually play against this? They're making a little box with a diagonal angles on it. They're both now healed up after that snipe. Hen just goes for it. Super simple mechanics. Ooh, Chapix actually goes down. Okay, this kid literally just gets... the problem, this opponent made a horrible mistake. He went... Despite the fact he picked up the elim on Chapix, he just committed fully going into those old builds. And that was the beauty. Okay, I'm just basically an angel. And that's the beauty of the fact that they made this big tarp. The fact that they were in this snake tunnel to start with meant that this opponent jumped straight in, and that just gives them the edits. When you see an opponent consistently making a lot of space, you need to try and take separate walls and separate build pieces, but not jump all the way in, because you just make the horrible mistake there. That opponent jumps straight into the box, then Hen has the double edit, easy kill down. And one of the things that we noticed about from Hen's POV there is that he wasn't overbuilding, because he's on this. Either this is actually just his mechanics, or just because he's on the higher ping. But this is actually the exact point I wanted to look out. See when he edits out here. So he takes a shot. Firstly, he focuses first on taking the shot rather than doing some big fancy build. He places 2 ramps and the one above him. So a lot of players, I think in this situation, would put a wall in front of them and then edit through and then box up the opponent completely. But he just walks through, literally just flips the ramp, and he's in, takes a shot. And either that is the case that he has, either this is just the mechanics he would do, or this is just because he's on the higher ping. Because what you'd notice is if you're doing this against a higher level player, the player on the other side would just place a wall and block you straight away. As soon as they see that ramp come over their head, they just place a wall in front of them, and then you'd be blocked. But maybe it's because it's opens, maybe it's just because it's on higher ping, and editing through that wall would be an extra difficult step. He just ramps up, flips it, in the box, dead. And it's the same thing, just a couple build pieces up. It's the same thing with this. He edits down and has a shot, but a lot of people in this situation would cone and put a ramp in, but he pretty much knows this guy's not that healthy. Maybe I was wrong, but either way, he doesn't put the time into place that extra build piece like he would against a top level player. A top level player would simply just ramp over his head or protect himself there. But this is an opens lobby, plus the fact that he's on 100 ping, so that extra build piece would be an extra time. So it picks up an easy elim and then goes back to the other one. So here, Chapix is doing a great job of not overcommitting and getting boxed, right? He's managing to keep that great distance between him and his opponent. The worst thing you can do against lower level players, and high level players by far, is get too close to them, because you can easily get elimed by a player who just runs out your box. If someone just runs out, cones you, and has a purple tack, it's over for you. So this is what You can see he's keeping the distance. There's a bit of a replay bug. Either the ramp or the cone's not meant one of there. Yeah, and you can see like he sees the opponent run out and he instantly jumps to the side, places the walls, and he's like, right, I'm not getting in the same box as this person. That's too much of a risk. In particular because he already went down to that in like the previous game. Yeah, Hen won on 100 ping. Both these players are from EU and they won on NA East. So that's really nice. You can even see as he shot, he places a ramp in front of him and it's continually moving back. Like, look at the spacing. It's like 2 tiles away, just focusing on getting those like constant small tags. And again, he sees the opponent running out and he even like 90s up to get like a bit of different distance so he can heal. So really nice. And now that Hen's pushed in a bit closer, they're still keeping this distance. I don't know why because he's got no AR ammo to spray, but you know, like I said, if you're wall to wall, it's so easy for them to like take control because of the higher ping. So like him just keeping his distance by an extra tile, really clean, just really enables him to manage to consistently get damage off. Nice, beam out the sky. I think these guys just have like no mats now, is it? No. Nice, and nice lag. And another thing, beautiful, right? So another really nice thing that Hen just did there. Remember, on high ping, you are not going to get a wall. A situation where you will take the wall is if the opponent isn't paying attention, right? If your opponent's looking the other direction, just pickaxe swing and try and take it from there, fine. But we notice is this guy's holding his wall, so Hen just single pickaxe swings it, takes out his pump and just looks at it with a shot. Guy edits out, easy elim. Like, you have to prepare, if you're playing on higher ping like this, you have to prepare for the fact that you're not going to be able to take every single wall. You're just going to have to end up looking at your opponents and go, okay, cool, please run at me and edit. If this opponent was better, he probably would have peanut buttered, and that would have been a bit of a problem for Hen. But at the same time, Chapix is spraying in his back and just consistently hitting him for damage over and over again. So like, it doesn't really make that much of a difference because I'm sure he would have picked up this elim anyway. Plus he knows this guy's weak. You notice a lot of the time, like a ton of the fights, in team modes in particular, but like even more the case on high ping, is just like, notice how many of these elims are just on players by using their ARs. Like, being at good positioning and like pinching like the R and just spraying is like such a, it's not a better way, but it's usually such a more efficient way to pick up elims rather than actually playing on like trying to get in with your attack and shoot. It's like if you have one player and you manage to get a good pinch and you just spray from either sides, there's much more likelihood that you're actually going to get that elim rather than like trying to make edit plays and shotgun plays when you're on that high ping. Okay, so we're back to a position where they're playing defensive again. They've created more space, a nice kind of 3 long tarp. I like this peek from Hen to try and get a nice shot. It's actually, stuff like this is something that a lot of people don't do that. A lot of, I'll say not a lot of like high level people, but a lot of like intermediate players don't do, where like, if you take this from our opponent's perspective, let me put what you call on. So like, if you think from this perspective, you look like Ricky Gervais. Someone's told me that before. So like, if you think about it from this perspective, right, this guy, the big Drixty, he's seen basically that they've created a 3 long tarp at the bottom, so he knows this in there, and at this point, so many people forget that you can leave that box and get an angle. It's something so simple that like, you can see Hen obviously just like poking out the back just to take a small little jump shot, which obviously doesn't end up working in this particular instance, but like that works way more than people think because they're just like way too tunnel visioned on the fact that they have boxes here. Oh, they must be in here somewhere, that like they don't suspect you to make the offensive play because they think you're like being really defensive. Okay, so not looking too healthy, not looking too good on the mats. And that's kind of the thing is with the having like a good drop straight away. Like they got out dropped essentially by the other team, so they get better ping, so they get better loot instantly. They've claimed the better side of Slurpee purely because they had a better drop and alpha that side up, and that left Hen and Chapix to land at this side. That's the God Bloom. Oh, that's a risky play, okay. And he's just gonna get sprayed off. Yeah, and it's at this point, it's like there's not much you can do because like he's been tagged for white, and these two are super aggressive, and they're gonna push hard. Like there's only minimal materials left. High ping, like now he's in a corner. Like yeah, like so. They get the beam off. Well, they've already got it at this point, but like they get a beam off, and both of them at the same time, like they recognize this straight away. And that's like, look at the positioning between these two, and like how good like teamwork this is just from them. Obviously, this is just like an early game fight, but like Toos goes underneath to ensure that if he goes under like the other direction, he's fine. Siventor goes in the other door, complete pinched at this point. They're just spraying from each side, and it's like there's absolutely nothing that Chapix can do at this point. Like there's nothing that he can do from here. He's made the mistake to over peek and get beamed to start with. He went for the snipe because like they didn't have much else, and obviously at the same time, Hen was over there with like minimal stuff. And if Chapix hadn't made that play, then Hen probably would have got like collapsed in on by these two. And it's like what can you do from this perspective if you were Chapix, apart from actually hit a shot, you know? And they've got splat. Oh, this is tough. A nice bit of server lag, we love it. Beautiful. That was a super clean angle, and like really nice, just because a lot, like in all honesty, a lot of people would have just placed the wall and like made an edited window or something, but like even that like ramp to look over the top was super clean. Unfortunately missed the edit, but nice, another right hand play. This is great. Like Hen's taking some really nice angles, consistently like being above and looking down rather than like going for wall edits, and especially on this ping, if you like try to edit on those walls, it's just moved off. And there's the third party coming in from Aqua and Stompy, but that was really well played for like a 1v2. In particular, that first like little angle that Hen took, I actually really like that. He's got no build, so I think it was the right play anyway. More bouncers, nice. Front of zone. Nice, now's the time. Oh my god, that is scary, and there is some server lag. It's just popping the medkit. Twix and Senseful, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What the f are they doing, bro? They're just sitting there. Sneaking up, nice. People underrate just like crouching and just honestly playing like a bit. Like, just like crouching around, just going for that like advantage. Like if you watch Reet, like everyone always, you know, loves straight in the trash. Everyone always loves watching like how good a fighter Reet is. And a lot of times he is doing that exact thing where he's just like hiding and getting like a big beam off first, and that's it. In particular, watch him play like arena trios, solo trios. That was nice. Another thing, like small thing, Hen was like, he pickaxed one wall, then pickaxed another one. Like they're both weak. It gives him, on that high ping, gives him a much better chance of being able to actually get any of the walls. This is a tough rotate. I want to see how they make this on with no mobility is what I meant to say. Just gonna use a car. Nice path, going left. Man, that's like the freest rotate ever. And they go all the way to the backside, so they take dead side of the... Ooh, got beamed. Where they're at right now, essentially is, you know, you can see the zone. You can't really see the zone because it's performance mode. But like here's split down the half. This was the half that was out. This was the half that was in. So like this whole side would usually be considered the congested side. A lot of people have gone down onto the south side because of the way they've rotated in from like down here. And the same thing with up here because they've rotated from up here. And you can see a kind of cluster of people here as well. So a lot of the times what players will be doing is end up just trying to get onto this right-hand side in general because there's normally less people here. And as you can see, that's exactly what they ended up doing. A bit of the problem with their positioning here is the fact that you can see them getting beamed to start with, but it's pretty lucky, in all honesty, that they didn't get focused, because in this position, people from here, here, and here can all spray you because you're like so much in the open. So like when you're taking a dead side position on the 5th zone, a lot of times you still have to be careful of if you're just gonna get server sprayed because you can't be too far away from the other players. So like this spot here would have been absolutely perfect. Obviously they just like jumped out the car and they didn't want to get focused like because they were in a car so much and they get blown up. But like either way, being still near some other builds and like have some protection to rotate around is still really good, because like even if now they want to rotate this way, like these players can hold them, these players can hold them if like a 6th zone pulls that way. So now if they stay to the south side, this is where they're going to be staying away from the majority of players. So you can see like on the north side of the zone, there is way more people up here. A lot of people have tried to take down on the south side rotate as well, but you'll see like the majority of the congestion will be up on this side. Some of these dots, you can't see everyone because some of these dots aren't going up. So like the zone's kind of pulling this direction here, and what you'll see is the majority of players will be on this, is it north? Yeah, north side of the zone, and then on this south side there'll be way less, so you can see them kind of going down along this dead side zone, which should theoretically make their rotate easier because there's going to be less people there, there's less angles to be shot from. But a lot of people have kind of caught onto this, so you can already see there's a few people rotating down this way. Now they're like, notice how Hen could sit and pop a big or a mini or whatever, but Chapix is focused more on getting ahead of the zone. than staying behind, right? The focus needs to be more on staying ahead and not getting scuffed rather than popping that big. Like, he has enough heals to rotate, so like Chapix can create like a good tarp for them to get in, and then once they're in that 6th zone, then he can pop that big, or the mini and the big. He's in. There we go, pop the big straight away. Okay, taking a little bit of a split angle. They didn't actually end up having enough time. But you can see, like, Hen again is moving dead side, right? So it's, look, he's not even covering this one side because he doesn't need to. They're kind of on different layers. They're just like tunneling one layer above each other, one above and below. But you notice, like, you just stuck to this complete side all the way along. And like, again, if we go all over here, most people are on the other side because it did like an L shape. So they moved essentially. So the congested area was, let's get a brush in here. We're advanced. Oh, face cam, sorry. Well, I'll move over here. There you go. Okay, so congested area was here, which means all of these players are then going to move and end up here, right? Which means all these players then going to end up move here. So it's like your rotation path in this kind of zone is this way, along this side, getting to this side of the zone, and then moving up this way. Because like the majority of the players will go like that and like that. So like you can see my amazing drawing. Bro, I am a artist.